welcomes you to Banco Arena at Stan Sheriff Center on the campus of the University of Hawaii in majestic Manoa for tonight's men's volleyball match featuring Great Lakes Valley Conference member, the Rockhurst Hawks, versus Big West Conference member, your third-ranked Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Introducing the Rockhurst Hawks starting lineup. At center, 6'1" junior from Castleberry, Florida, number 3, Nathan Jocks. And outside hitter, 6'3" senior from Orlando, Florida, floor captain, number 7, Shea Spadaro. And opposite, 6'6" freshman from Kissimmee, Florida, Sutphin. And middle blocker, 6'7" graduate student from Castleberry, Florida, number 10, Wesley Yusk. And middle blocker, 6'6" sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, number 11, Aaron DeRoy. And libero 2, 6' junior from Wichita, Kansas, number 16, Jackson Doherty. And libero 1, 6' graduate student from Dublin, California, number 17, Ryan Collins. And an outside hitter, 6'7" sophomore from Wildwood, Missouri, number 24, Lucas Tran. Assistant coaches Corey Frederick, Samantha Marks, and Julio Vasquez Santiago. Head coach for the Hawks, Corey Marks.
I'm seeing that rock. I'm seeing it came out the way. Louis be past the rock. I'm saying all the way on me and Ricardo. She trying to be part of my schedule. I told her to come back tomorrow. I've been feeling myself all day. I told her to come out. Pieces all on my lips. You know I can't kiss no hope.
And now, meet and greet the starting lineup for your Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And outside hitter, 6'5" sophomore from Lyon, France, number 7, Adrian Ward. And middle blocker, 6'8" sophomore from Houston, Texas, number 9, Justin Todd. And opposite, 6'8" sophomore from Sofia, Bulgaria, number 10, Christian Tatritsky. And libero 2, 6'2" junior from Costa Mesa, California, number 15, Kai Taylor. And middle blocker, 6'6" sophomore from Zichron Yaakov, Israel, number 16, Opek Hazan. And libero 1, 5'8" junior from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, number 22, Quinton Greenwich. And outside hitter, 6'5" junior from Paris, France, number 23, Louis Sangaloko. And at center, 6'11" junior from Austin, Texas, floor captain, number 13, Trey Rosen. coaches, Donan Cruz and Jack Eastman. Associate head coach, Kupono Fay. Head coach for your Rainbow Warriors, Charlie Wade.
Sheriff Center, Kanoa Leahy sitting next to Chris McLaughlin. C-Mac, take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
Well, for Rockhurst, it's glimpses of greatness. The Hawks had a nice win over MPSF member Concordia 5 days ago. They came from behind to win 15-13 in the fifth. That should give them plenty of confidence coming into tonight. And for White, is endurance a factor? Oh, it's unlikely, as Charlie Wade will likely play brand new lineup tonight.
All right, yeah, so for the first time in this arena, Hawaii is going to be playing a doubleheader. They played earlier today. It was a start time of 11 a.m. They swept Roberts Wesleyan 25, 21, 17, and 16. And that's the way to start match number 2 as Trent Rosenthal. There was a lot of discussion about his inability to serve effectively in that second match against Loyola Chicago because he was dealing with a little bit of a back issue. And so he was float serving it. But when he spin serves it, it's a whole different story, as we saw in that first attempt. The Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineup scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Charlie Wade taking the opportunity with the 2 matches per day schedule here tonight and Friday to play what is referred to by some as the B-side in that earlier match against Roberts Wesleyan.
The B-side played well. They won 3 straight, and Kanoa Wade had 21 kills.
Served there by Nathan Jocks, the setter for Rockhurst, and the set from Rosenthal goes to Adrian Rohr, who's able to deposit it, and Hawaii goes up 2-1. The Rainbow Warriors 4-1 overall after that win earlier today. Rockhurst, they're 1-2 in their second year as a men's volleyball program. So very much in their infancy. Rohr able to force the overpass on the serve. They go middle. It's Justin Todd. A little double duty for the middles here today. That's because despite going into the season, the middle blocker being considered perhaps the deepest position for Charlie Wade, now it's a little bit of attrition here with some bodies that are dealing with some injury.
Right, definitely. Travell Jordan, he's hurting. And how about Alex Parks just got hit with an ankle injury? And so all of a sudden they go from 4 down to 2, basically.
You can throw Roman Payne, the 7-foot freshman, in there as well. He's been feeling a little pain, unfortunately, in that foot of his. And so his availability very much in question, and probably not any time in the immediate future will we see Roman Payne making his Hawaii debut. That one off the block, covered by Christian Tatriski. He gets the set on the outside and then has to resort to the left hand and hits it into the pin. And so here we are, 3-3 in set number 1 as you take a look at the Hawks. Second-year head coach Corey Marks building a program from scratch, but he knows a thing or two about that. He played at Erskine College when it was a brand new program, and in 2014 as the setter he led Erskine to the NCAA tournament. One hand dig there by Rohr, pinballed around and returned. Advantage here for the Hawks. They go right side, and off the block and down, it's Will Sutphin. He is an Ohio State transfer, redshirted there last year, and so Corey Marks able to attract, although this was just the second year for the Hawks, able to attract some transfers from some power programs as you take a look at Charlie Wade in season 17. That serve goes wide, and we are going back and forth here early on.
Actually, Rockhurst got 3 pretty good transfers from good volleyball playing schools. And Charlie Wade said it's a little unnerving to play a team that's got 3 really good transfers. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Justin Todd, he's been playing with some confidence, especially in the service game. Comes up with the dig there off the ricochet. Louis Sakanoko slowed down there by the block. So a little out of system transition here for Rockhurst, and Lucas Tran able to go off the block and out. Tran averaging 2.67 kills per set. He's hitting 207 on the year. He is a sophomore from Wildwood, Missouri.
Second team All-IVA last year, International Volleyball Association, is that what it is?
Independent Volleyball Association,
that's right.
Yeah. As that serve goes long.
And by the way, another note on Tran. watch out, because he's majoring in cybersecurity, Kanoa. He may hack your computer before this night's up.
That's right. I am clearing my cache right now as we speak. And that one is put down there. Middle attack works. Aaron DeRoy, 6'6", sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri. Rockhurst hails from Kansas City, Missouri. Men's volleyball was added as one of 7 new programs to Rockhurst University back in October of 2022. That one crawls over the net. Rosenthal had to lay out just to get that first touch, and then Sakonoko hits it long. And Rockhurst is up 2 on Hawaii here, 7 serving 5 in the first.
Good wake-up call, Kanoa. Good wake-up call.
This A side better look out. Charlie might be fitting to put the B side back in.
That's right.
Middle set, that tip drops there for Ofek Hazan, who also is playing a little double duty. Had 5 kills on 11 swings and 3 blocks in the earlier match today. That match not televised. Friday will be the same thing, except the 2 matchups will be swapped. It'll be Rockhurst in the morning and Roberts Wesleyan as the feature match at 7 p.m. We'll have that one on TV. How about that one-handed dig by Quentin Greenwich? Roar, 2-hands it off the double block and down. Well, it's certainly a little sloppy here at the onset of this first frame for Hawaii, but that was a pretty brilliant save by Greenwich. You talk about a chicken wing save. There it was.
You know, Quentin Greenwich seems to be in the right place at the right time all the time.
There's Sakonoko on the serve. That middle set hanging and banging. It's DeRoy. He's hitting .469 on the season, as mentioned. Rockhurst playing 3 matches previously. They lost to Vanguard University in their opener, but they got a win over an MPSF opponent in Concordia Irvine in 5 sets on January 9th, then lost a couple of nights later at UC San Diego. So they've gone up against some legitimate competition already as Roar sends it out, no touch up front. And what do you see happening here right now in this first frame, C-Mac?
Maybe it's the volleyball, Kanoa. Maybe it's the volleyball. It's hard to handle. It's a brand new ball. It's the international ball we're playing tonight. The Mikasa ball instead of the Molten. And no, I'm just kidding. Boy, I think, trying a little bit too hard right now.
Well, maybe you're just half kidding. You might have something there as Tatriski pulls the string and finds the middle of the floor. We were talking about it during the game on portion of the broadcast, but Charlie Wade cutting a deal this week with Mikasa, which supplies the volleyballs for most of the professional leagues overseas, as well as most international competition, including the Olympics. And so they sent 3 dozen or so balls out to Hawaii, because in non-conference play, the home team is able to use the volleyball of its choice. Tatriski rearing back a little bit more on that one. And so, yeah, a little bit of a change in the feel. How is this ball a little bit different from the usual Molten ball that is heavily used across the NCAA?
Okay, so the players tell me, you know, it's lighter. It's easier to hit the ball out on a jump floater. Some players say it spins more, especially it tails off at the end, and the players that use that curveball serve. And tougher to pass, because the floater that comes over, it's jumping a lot, it's moving around, and it's really tough to get a real bead on it.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you were to compare to, say, the game of golf, right? The different kinds of golf balls that you can play with. They changed the ball flight significantly as Christian Tatriski goes off the high hands and out. Tatriski, in every match he's played this season, has gone for double-figure kills, and he's well on his way already with 3 kills in this one.
Well, he just hits it so hard, Kanoa. He finds the seams really well with blocks that are split.
That's an overpass, and Justin Todd came into the string on the follow-through. Didn't really make the best contact either. Now, I'm not sure if this plays into that sequence, but some of the players, and even Kupono Fei, assistant coach for Hawaii, was telling me the other difference between the Mikasa and the Molten, the sweet spot for the Mikasa ball might be a little smaller.
Yes, absolutely.
Middle set, Todd had the left hand extend to reach it. And then on the outside, Chase Padaro, nice diving save, Greenwich. Bump set up to Tatriski, and he makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
Amazing. Great bump set by Trent Rosenthal that time. He really did a nice job of popping up after his Greenwich with a nice dig. Watch this bump set. A little sidearm bump set. Puts it right where Rourke can get a good swing at it.
11 serving 11. And the back row set goes to Tran, but he knocks it wide. And so that's a point for Hawaii, and they jump back ahead. Tran, who transitioned from opposite hitter to outside hitter when he got to Rockhurst.
A transition? No pun intended.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, the stuff solo style there by Louis Sakanoko. More like Louis Oakanoko.
And Louis gets up and penetrates and presses over that net and down. No way to cover that one.
13 serving 11. O'Rourke put a little extra chili pepper water on that offering. Deals an ace out of the deck. And Hawaii up 3.
Like Trent Rosenthal, almost like a redemption serve for Louis. He was one of the ones that I thought we both thought was serving a little soft at the end of that Loyola match the other night.
Third ace of the season for Adrian. Tried to cut it to the far sideline, missed wide. And hey, look, it doesn't matter the opponent on the other side of the net. This is an opportunity for Hawaii to try to reestablish its mojo from behind the service line. It seemed like they got a bit tentative on night 2 against Loyola Chicago. And if you're just serving softies across the net to that team, they're going to carve you up.
Yeah, as they did, for the most part. Hawaii self-destructed themselves with 15 errors per set.
Out serve gets Hawaii to 15 passes. And everybody's sitting courtside trying to get the latest updates on their Spectrum News app. Hawaii up 3 here in set 1, 15-12. Although Rockhurst may not be a widely known program just yet, as mentioned in year 2 of its existence under head coach Corey Marks, but he felt like they were going to put their best foot forward and compete, and certainly to this point they have. He said, hey, look, we came all the way out here. We had to fundraise significantly. It's not a cheap trip. Of course, Hawaii able to help out to a degree, as the host team usually does. And he said, we want to play on that stage. We want to get the word out. We want to put our program front and center. And so this is a big step towards doing that. They brought a travel party of about 40. And I mean, when you have sleeveless Aloha shirts among the crew, you're showing up. Down the line to Tatriski. Surgical on that one, and Hawaii back up 3. That's now 5 put downs for Christian.
When he gets off to a good start, it's really tough to slow him down. He's like a Mack truck coming at you.
Right side, that one hit wide. That was Will Sutphin taking a swing from that right pin. He's averaging 1.8 kills per set here this year. Christian Tatriski, we were talking about the service line mojo. This is a guy who has been devastatingly effective from the service line throughout his young career, but in that second night against Loyola Chicago, it seemed like something got into his head a little bit, and he was much more trigger shy, it appeared. Didn't really want to bring the thunder. Was just having a problem with the calibration, as we were going to have a review challenge on that last play.
Part of it was his back, too, Kano. I think his back his lower back was bothering him.
Rockhurst is challenging that Hawaii committed a net violation on this play. Don't see anything there. What say you, C-Mac?
Well, I love seeing Sakanoko with his head over the net. That's fun to watch. I didn't see any net violation. Should be a pretty quick review.
Randy Rubinall conducting the reviews. Dixon Chun is the R1 on the near side. Kerwin Stenstrom, Hunter Heleniak are the line judges. Hawaii hitting 312 here in this first frame compared to 188 for the Hawks. First ever meeting between these two teams. Hawaii and particularly head coach Charlie Wade, they have been known to set up these kinds of matchups over the course of the schedule. There is no scheduling easy for Charlie, but he does like to sprinkle in these kinds of matchups against young and burgeoning programs as a means to try to grow the game.
Exactly, and you're allowed 30 dates of volleyball playing, and so Charlie wanted to make use of all 30 of those dates. He said, some teams in the country only use up 25 or 26 of those dates, and he said, we're not going to be shy on this. We're going to do double headers if we have to and give our whole roster a chance to play.
Hawaii, after that second night loss to Loyola Chicago, dropping one spot in the AVCA rankings, now tied for third. Loyola Chicago moving up one to number 6. UCLA continues to be the number 1 team with Long Beach State in the number 2 spot.
I don't think we told the fans in the pregame show. We told the fans about Loyola's setter. We don't think we told the fans in this production right now.
Feel free.
The setter had served up 5 aces against Hawaii.
Talking about Ryan McElligott of Loyola Chicago.
He was unbelievable. Really put on a show that night. Did not fly home with the team. Stayed here, got in the hospital, and had a hernia operation. I don't know how many days he recovered, but what a show that time out.
Outside, this is Tran, skips it off the block. Roar with the save. Here's Tatrisky on the D set, and he demolishes it. But getting back to Ryan McElligott, yeah, we had heard Donan Cruz, assistant coach for Hawaii, was the one that told us that, yeah, he had suffered from hernia symptoms, had to go to the hospital. And so we are happy to report that he appears to be okay, but he's going to be out for a few weeks.
He'll miss the UCLA match, he'll miss the Stanford match.
That's a big loss. He balled out on night 2 against Hawaii.
It was fun to watch. He had that left-handed serve just hooking, screaming over the net, barely making it over, ripping it down the line. I mean, he had everything going on that night.
Roy, meanwhile, with his second put down. Make that third put down. It's 14 serving 18. And that's an ace. Will Sutphin with his third ace of the season. Even Louis had to laugh a little bit about that. So Rockhurst hanging around a little bit here in set 1. That one will float deep. And now Louis will get ready to serve.
That's what the players were saying. They say, if you don't hit it just in the right spot, it'll fly on you. It'll be gone 5 feet, 10 feet out.
Sakamoko, the junior from Paris, France, into the string. Served by Tran, misses wide, so Hawaii gets to the 20-point mark.
Comes the serving specialist, Finn Kearney.
Yeah, Finn, who got some good action in the earlier match today. Finn Kearney had 6 kills, 11 attempts, no errors. Hit a fat 545 against Roberts Wesleyan. Cuts that one to the near side. Good pass there by Spadaro, and then he terminates. Shea Spadaro, the 6'3" senior from Orlando, who happens to be head coach Corey Marks' brother-in-law. That's right, his sister Samantha is an assistant coach on this coaching staff. And she happens to be Corey Marks' wife. And that one knocked through the resistance there by Adrian Ward.
Fred Rosenthal starting to speed up the offense just a little bit. Nathan Jocks from Rockhurst certainly loves to set the ball to the outside quickly. Let's see if he has another one to Spadaro on the left.
Oh, that one just missing the end line there by Rosenthal. Spadaro, a heck of a player, though. Second year with Rockhurst. He had spent 2 years at Lincoln Memorial, was an AVCA All-American, AVCA Freshman of the Year. but then had to deal with some injuries, really kind of thought he was out of the game. He was thinking that his volleyball days were over, and then when Corey Marks took the Rockhurst position, he said, hey, want to maybe join me over there, and we can try to do something pretty special with this brand new program. And Chase Badaro was on board, and now they're off and running.
He's playing some really good volleyball right now.
This guy's definitely playing some good volleyball this year. Adrian Rohr now 3 kills on 4 swings. Took a lot off on that serve, made sure he got it in. Nothing taken off on that swing by Wesley Yusk. Spent 4 years at Lewis, one of 2 Lewis transfers along with libero Ryan Collins. Didn't play a whole lot at Lewis, 10 total matches. Again, Corey Marks bringing over players who have experience playing for big name programs, as that serve just misses long.
Just being in that Lewis gym is important, regardless of how many matches you get into. Just being in that gym, you play some high-level volleyball.
And here's Kainoa Wade. Man, what a match he had earlier today. 21 kills, hit .514. Also had a couple of aces. He now has 5 on the season. Pass handled there by Collins, and Tran from the outside pin, able to rattle it off of the block.
I'll tell you, passing for Rockhurst impressive so far, allowing Jocks, their center, to really set the ball quick to the antenna. Making it tough for Hawaii's middles, have to put the track shoes on to get out there.
Here's Trent Massey. He's a transfer from Weber International, an NAIA program in Florida. And that one just misses long. It's a low ball for the Rainbow Warriors. A lot of Florida flavor on this Rockhurst team. Corey Marks, the head coach, he's a Florida guy, and built up club programs in several locations in the state. So he has ties there, and certainly very comfortable with some of the players that he brought in who he had seen or coached at the club level previously, as Tatrisky on set point serves it into the net. Again, just a little bit off Christian Tatrisky from the line.
Part of that can be attributed to the new ball. Part of it just the timing a little bit off. Again, you've got to be very precise with this ball. It's just it's lighter and doesn't allow for much error when you attack it.
Here's Bailey McHugh, another Florida guy, with the serve. Still set point for Hawaii. Back row roar. And this crowd lets out a roar in response to that hammer. Hawaii. Charlie Wade, despite Hawaii being obviously very heavily favored in this matchup, still wants to see his team try to sharpen up certain things that were a bit amiss on night 2 against Loyola Chicago. They'll do this doubleheader thing again on Friday, as mentioned, with the time slots as far as the opposition switching. But you want to get on down here if possible on Friday, because you're not going to have a chance to see this team in this building for a while after that. In fact, not until early March. Hawaii will be basically traversing the road in all of their matches between Friday night and when they host Pepperdine in early March.
One of the ways Charlie Wade measures sharpness is number of errors. You had the hitting errors, the serving errors, the reception errors, and you come to 11 in that first set. He wants the errors to be down near 8. That'll show sharpness.
Backside, that one punched down by Chase Badaro.
He makes a nice turn of this down the line. Time to look like Justin Tyler's a little late getting out there.
Badaro, 2.9 kills per set. Back row, Louis just crushes it.
Well, when he and Adrian Rohr get a hold of that big set, they just crush it. It's almost like the ball flattens out when it lands.
Yeah, that is a violent attack by Sakonoko, and you're right, Rohr, he does some similar things on that big attack. That set a little tight to the antenna, but good on Lucas Tran, still able to figure out a way to make it work. I think we're going to have a challenge here issued by Charlie Wade.
I think he's claiming that his outside blocker did not touch the ball. And the linesman called a touch in the outside hand.
Yeah, call was a touch. Charlie Wade challenging that there was, in fact, no touch. Let's take a look if we see a touch.
Oh, not even close.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't look like there is a touch.
Not even close. That's an easy call. This will be a fast conclusion here.
You sure about that?
Watch Randy.
Are you positive about that?
Rubenall is going to be really fast here. You watch.
Oh, you're right. Look,
there it is. There
he's
it is.
already putting the veil back on the screen. He came to that conclusion. We have Kerry Ambrosic, who is our statistician, keeping the time on this one. 16 seconds. So it is a successful challenge for Charlie Wade. Some of the guys on the Rockhurst side sort of laughing at that one, thinking, hey, maybe we'll get away with it somehow. But
you know, Charlie just had a quick conversation with his outside blocker. He said, did you touch her or not? Just tell me. Okay, you didn't? Okay, I'll challenge.
3 serving 1. And that one kind of doing what you were describing with this Mikasa ball, where it can kind of spatch on guys if they don't get it in that sweet spot.
And they use that word, too. They actually use that word, spatch. And spatch on me. I can't believe it. But nice to see Adrian Rohr being a little more aggressive on his serve, even though he did miss it.
Pass there by Greenwich. Back row, Rohr applies a little love and tenderness. And away goes up by 2, 4-2 here in the second.
I'll tell you what, seeing Adrian Rohr coming out of the back row on the back row has got to be on their heels deep, knowing about his last 2 swings. They're deep. They're backing up right there. No way to come forward that fast if he does a little change-up on him, a little tip shot.
Justin Todd, 3 kills, 5 attempts, hit 400, had a service ace this morning. So strange to be saying that. Overpass, Louis taps it down. Says merci beaucoup to his server, Justin Todd.
Not much matchup there. Nathan Jocks at about 6 feet tall, going against Louis at 6'5".
Jocks, though, according to his head coach, a heck of a volleyball player. As that serve by Todd goes long.
Yeah, what I like best about what Jocks does is he's a good team leader, and he also gets the ball in the pins really quickly if he gets a good pass. Makes it really tough on Hawaii's blockers.
Backside to Treesky, just bounces it off of the fingers.
How many times do we see that where he just swings hard, even if the block is up, he'll just swing hard, and the ball cannot keep it in the court. It goes high and over the back line. So effective. 7 kills now, only 1 here.
Yeah, I don't even think he's perspiring all that much. The block is up for Hawaii. Good chase down there by the libero, Ryan Collins. Outside, quick reset for Louis. And a good up in the back row there by Spadaro, and Tran with the finisher on the point.
Nice set from Jocks as well, firing all the way across court. Tran knew there was 4 hands up, so he just swung high and hard. There's Louis with a high, hard swing that got dug. There's a high, hard swing from Tran, and that was a thing of beauty.
Tran serves that one into the twine. So Louis getting ready to serve for Hawaii. Corey Marks, we talked about his motivation behind scheduling a trip to the islands and playing a couple of matches against Hawaii. That middle set is a ripe one to Aaron DeRoy, who's having himself a strong match. 4 kills on 5 swings, no errors. But Marks, who actually had, when he was in his younger playing days, a couple of club coaches who were from Hawaii, and so they kind of exposed him to Hawaii or island volleyball culture. He said it's something I fell in love with. He was very close himself to actually attending what we surmised was possibly Punahou School, his senior year of high school. As
Wait. I think he said I was going to go to a good school in Hawaii, and you said, oh, it must have been Iolani.
No, he said...
I think that's what it was. I'm not positive.
His exact words when we were talking with him was, yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of the school, but from what I understand, they were like the #1 school at the time. I thought, oh, well, it must have been Iolani then, right? But it was probably Punahou is what he was thinking. But yeah, so he has just this incredible respect for the island volleyball scene. Came very close to being a part of it himself. But over the course of time, through coaching, through club volleyball, he was able to build a relationship with the former Hawaii assistant, now with Baylor Josh Walker, Donan Cruz, current Hawaii assistant, as well as Kupono Faye on the staff. And so it was really those connections that started the conversation going about scheduling a couple of matches here in Honolulu, as that one is obliterated by Adrian Rohr.
He's also one of those volley nerds who at 12:45 in the morning will turn on Spectrum to watch it.
Yes.
And we're calling here at the stand.
He did watch a lot of Hawaii volleyball in the wee hours of the morning on the East Coast. There are some hardcore volleyball fans who will do that, and we appreciate them having an interest in Hawaii volleyball. Middle set. That one a little tall there for Yusk. Now it's Spadaro, his tip, snipped out there by Todd. And then Todd with the left hand, little pitter-patter back and forth. Soft touched over by Sutphin. Advantage Hawaii. Back row, Louis. And he says, enough of this soft stuff. I'm bringing the heat in a second.
So I think Charlie Wade was more happy with those kind of numbers now that Hawaii's making fewer errors. That's what he's looking for, a cleaner scorecard.
Rosenthal serving out of the timeout. Good pass there by Collins. Backside set Spadaro blocked and roofed. And that was Adrian Rohr doing it by his lonesome.
It was fun watching the Rockhurst huddle after they make a mistake or get scored on. They all come to the huddle and start laughing and jumping up and down as if they had just scored.
It's a good vibe over there.
It is a good vibe.
Yeah, they're having fun. Oh, what a serve, what a pass by Collins. And that middle set pumped out. Wesley Yusk with the hitting error. Yeah, you're right. They bring it together no matter what. Win, lose, or draw on each point. They're coming together and they're high-fiving one another. And, yeah, almost as if you wouldn't know. If you just had an ISO cam on that side of the net, you wouldn't know that was an out ball. They're still happy to be playing. Serving 6. Backside, Spadaro. That one would not be denied. He found the sweet spot that time. His fourth put down, and that had a little extra oomph on it.
Perfect set from Jocks as well. A nice little serving run that time by Roosevelt, something we did not see on night number 2 against Loyola.
Pass there by Rohr, and then Todd in the middle. The Terminator. But Adrian Rohr, that was a topic of discussion. Charlie Wade saying that a couple of times Adrian Rohr got aced down that sideline and said that that's just a technique thing. It was something they called attention to this week, and it was corrected right there on that sequence.
Yeah.
And was there a touch there as Tran sends it out? No touch. So Hawaii now has Rockhurst doubled up here in the second. Service error gives it right back to the Hawks. Rockhurst preseason pick to win the Great Lakes Valley Conference sponsoring men's volleyball for the first time. You mentioned last year they were part of the Independent Volleyball Association. That was their inaugural season. As to Treesky, oh, he smacked it, but he misses wide. Another point for Rockhurst. The league, however, Great Lakes Valley Conference, because of its youth, sponsoring men's volleyball for the first time this season, doesn't have an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament, despite the expanded NCAA field of 12 teams set for this year. So they are looking to hopefully play their way in via an at-large. These kinds of matches could possibly help. And how about that sequence for Rockhurst? The defense to keep it off of the floor. And then the battle up front against Christian Tatrisky. And it is 10 serving 14. The Hawks have scored the last 3.
Extra special celebration that time. When they block a All-American like that, Tatrisky, they put up a big-time celebration. They celebrated too much.
Yeah, there's Wesley Yusk dealing with a little something after that last sequence. And so talking to the sideline. What do you think about the Rockhurst Aloha shirts, by the way? They have the Hawks logo amid some of the floral pattern. Pretty nifty stuff. Let's see if we can take a look. This is Yusk. He's in the back row there. And maybe just a little bit of that hip turn while he was down on one knee. Possibly creating a little bit of discomfort, but he stays in there. However, he serves long. And that gets Hawaii to 15 first in the second. They lead by a handful at 6:30. So you know the Rainbow Wahine basketball team very hungry for a victory in league, and the pressure mounts each and every game. They do not realize that win. And that was an absolute laser from the service line. Kainoa Wade, you'd have to say, if you were measuring it all up here this season, the most consistent and arguably the most effective server for Hawaii has been this guy right here.
Really good this afternoon. We played this morning at 11 o'clock. He was just as good then.
There's Tran. 3 blockers up. The Manoa Roofing Company in full effect. Ofek Hazan in the middle of it all. And it is 17 serving 10.
Very alert that time for Louis to sneak over there and become the third blocker.
Kainoa Wade, who served the last 5 points the opening night of the series against Loyola Chicago to win that match. That one just missed that deep corner. He was trying to be pretty precise there, but yeah, he definitely is a weapon for this Hawaii squad from the service line, or even when Charlie does put him in at the opposite position.
He's used to this ball, too. He played with this Mikasa ball all summer long.
Block slowed Sakanoko down. Good sprawling save by Collins. Punched over by Tran. Rolling save there by Rohr. Tatrisky goes off the triple block. A little miscommunication, and now Hawaii off of the free pass. Rosenthal goes to Hazan. And he clobbers it.
Hawaii looking much crisper in transition. Free ball plays like this, getting one-on-one situations. Only 2 hands up instead of 4 or 6. Makes it a lot easier for the hitter.
See the season averages for Hazan. Set outside Tran. That deep corner where no Rainbow Warriors were. So Tran gets his 4th kill. That'll get him back to triple zeros. He was negative prior to that attempt.
And they count on him being he's got to be a 250, 300 hitter every night.
A pass there by Greenwich from the back row. Rohr, and the up by Collins. Now Spadaro from behind the line was able to put a little smoke on it. But Rohr with the dig. Here's Sakanoko. 3 blockers up. They kept it on the Hawaii side. Greenwich bump set Sakanoko. A little short hop. His vision is unreal in those kinds of situations.
He's got that peripheral vision. He knows where the open part of the court is. He's got that deft little shot down the line, little cutter down the line. And so smart.
Love the little hopscotch approach there by Sakanoko. Spadaro able to overpower the Hawaii block. So he's up to 5 kills.
Spadaro's so steady. He's pretty much got all the shots as well, but he prefers that fast one to the outside on his setter, Jacques.
Trent Massey now on the serve, able to knuckleball that one over, and then over on 2 goes Rosenthal. We haven't seen that yet tonight, but it's always in his bag, and it is a threat when he is in that front line.
I think for the most part, he doesn't call his number enough. Remember, he's 6'11". He doesn't need to jump to tap that straight down inside the 3-meter line.
So here's Finn. Finn Kearney with the toss.
Rare for Finn to miss. He's like Kainoa Wade. He's a very high percentage server who makes few errors. You got to think the ball's got to have something to do with it, Kanoa.
A particularly poor miss by Finn Kearney's standards as well. When he does miss, it is usually by a hair.
It's like a rotation violation on Hawaii.
So
he's getting cleared up on, okay, who's overlapping who?
All right, so the free point gifted to Rockhurst there.
I think Louis Sakamoto was in front of Adrian Rohr that time when the ball was hit.
Spike Greenwich is on the money outside. Here's Rohr, blocked and roofed. And the Hawks spreading their wings up front above the net. Wesley Yusk getting the gist of that one.
I guess his hip is okay now, huh?
Yeah.
He gets up and gets that one down.
That's 3 straight points here for Rockhurst. And the high velocity serve results in an ace. Nathan Jocks, the team leader in that category, gets the Hawks within 3 in set 2, and Hawaii calls a timeout.
Because he's such the hammer.
That ended a little 5-1 surge for Rockhurst. Trailed by 7 at 20-13. And now still very much in this thing here in the second, down by 3. With the serve and Chase Spadaro. Another potential point scorer from the service line. Getting ready to bring it across. Pulls Rosenthal off of the net. Here's Rohr from the opposite pin. One-hand diving save Spadaro. Tran will two-hand it over. Advantage Hawaii. Rosenthal outside to Tresky. And that was some thunder from the left pin.
That is vintage Tresky. I thought it was a great dig, and then hustle by Collins to keep that ball alive.
Collins on the pass there. And a great setup by Nathan Jocks to Will Sutphin. Was able to find the sweet spot on that one. 19 serving 22.
Gotta give a lot of credit to the Hawks. They're staying close. Good set that time that fooled Justin Todd.
And Trent Massey once again in to serve. Rohr taking that first contact. To Tresky, tough angle. The set was a little tight to the antenna, but he was able to turn his body and still find the middle of the floor. So Christian Tetrisky gets up to 10 kills, and yes, I mean, just mark it. If Christian Tetrisky plays a full match, he's gonna get to double-figure kills. You just have to feel that way at this point. He's done it every match that he's played in so far this season.
And he's doing a better job of making the most of sets that he doesn't like.
That one, did that get a piece of the block? No, missed.
He's the antenna.
Actually caught the pin, you're right. And so Hawaii gets to aloha ball here in set 2. Justin Todd remains the server. Crawls over the net. Oh, just like he drew it up, right? Justin Todd. Hawaii could work on, kind of prioritize here this evening. How would you measure that?
Well, one was the reduction of errors, obviously. The other was they're serving a little bit tougher, and I think they've done a pretty good job of that. Especially Rosenthal, I think, got better. Rohr got a little bit better. Tetrisky. But again, Rosenthal's got to get the. He's there in that spot for a reason, serving number 1, and that is because he has a really good serve. Serves a lot of aces. Usually goes on lots of runs in this position, and so That's an area in which I think Charlie may be a little disappointed that he got better serving than rotation.
Yeah, now 13 service errors. Meanwhile, Christian Tetrisky, he's leading everybody. That is his 11th put down. What we're seeing from Christian, too, this maybe embodies a little bit of his growth here in his second year with the program. We are seeing all kinds of shots. I mean, a wide array of variations from Christian Tetrisky.
Yeah, and more happiness after the shots, too, rather than being serious all the time. He's getting happy, like he was this morning supporting the B squad. He was great. It was fun watching him develop there as well.
One serving one. And that's an ace. Adrian Rohr. That's his second of the night.
So here's what I think Charlie would like to see now. Rather than have that soft roller, I think he'd like to see Adrian ramp this one up so that he could be really reliable behind the service line to hit any golf club he wanted.
He decides to loop it over again. And you see the result. And that's really, especially when you're talking about the top of this sport and some of those heavyweight battles that Hawaii has on the schedule, the line of delineation, that margin is so narrow. Hawaii is going to have to serve aggressively and effectively to be able to be at their best. If not,
100%.
they're just playing into the hands of the opposition. Back row Rohr. That one rattled the cage. Net slowed it down. Oh, that middle set, that was nifty there by Jocks. Hawaii plays it back, though. Tip by Sakanoko works. Going with some soft stuff here early on in set 3.
I don't know if I'm real excited about that, Kanoa, because I think they've really got to practice their hard-driven shots even more. Because when they play the big boys, it's going to be a whole different story. It'll be bigger blocks.
Backside. Oh, the big swing there by Will Sutphin. So Sutphin, a guy who has middle blocker experience, getting some swings at the opposite position. He's a league player of the year at St. Cloud High School in Florida. 3 serving 3. Rosenthal goes outside. Here's a low A. Laying the smackdown.
Every once in a while, Lou will call for that inside set, but he doesn't. I don't think he calls it right away. I think they've got it set up between him and Rosenthal ahead of time that he's going to ask for that inside set where there's a creation of a hole in the block and he just makes them pay.
Backside, Sutphin got under it and sent it out. And so Hawaii goes up by 2. Yeah, Louis Sakanoko, who was dealing with a little bit of an elbow issue last time we saw him. That was night 2 against Loyola Chicago. Had a wrap on it. Looked like he was grimacing in pain a little bit when he went down to the floor and made contact with it, diving for saves. But it's not even wrapped tonight, Seaman.
Tonight, no wrap. I know. It's really unusual. Because he was in a lot of pain the other night, I'll tell you that.
And that one plugs through the Hawaii block. And that is a formidable block with Fred Rosenthal and Justin Todd trying to wall it up.
6'11", 6'9".
Something now to serve. Back row Rohr.
Even though I think Rockhurst knew that was coming, they still couldn't stop it. I believe the block was late. If you saw the replay, you'd see the block, I think, is late. Can't even get up there to get a touch on Rohr's swing.
Louis again with the soft serve, and it results in a middle attack put down, this time by Aaron DeRoy, who has yet to commit a hitting error. He has 5 kills on 6 swings.
And maybe the fact that Adrian's served out or into the net 3 times, he and Rosenthal lead the team in service errors tonight.
Rosenthal sends it out to Rohr, and he got under it. That's his 3rd hitting error. He was at 500 prior to that attempt. And so we're tied here in the 3rd, 6-6.
It's a rare a rare shot. But there's your spat shot for you right there, where you couldn't get a clean shot at it. And this new ball will make you pay.
And drifts long. An adjustment for sure for these teams playing this week. And again, non-conference matches afford the opportunity for the home team to utilize a different volleyball, the volleyball of its choice. So just a little bit of an experimentation.
I like the experiment.
Yeah.
It's interesting that even the international players who use this ball overseas. Anybody hurt there? Anybody hurt?
That was Ofek Hazan. Ofek, I'm not sure. Maybe he can compare what it's like to be hit by a molten volleyball versus a Mikasa volleyball.
There you go. Anyway, I think it's a good idea they're using this different ball, but you better hit it in just the right spot, or you're going to hit it into somebody's back, or hit it long and out. There's another missed pass.
Hawaii scrambling here. Rockhurst on the attack, but it was Trent Rosenthal who said, And that was Spadaro who was denied access. Hawaii jumps up one.
We'll see in this serving turn here for Rosenthal if it's different than his first turn. And see if he tries anything different.
That one ricochets off the tape, finds its way out of play. And we're up to 15 service errors here for Hawaii compared to 5 aces.
It's not their normal ratio, is it?
It's definitely not what we saw from this team through the first 3 matches of the year.
Yeah.
Sakamoto on the pass. He gets the set from the back row. The up there by Collins. The ball set goes to Spadaro. And that one bounced in front of Sakanoko despite the sprawling effort.
And Rockhurst takes the lead.
9-8 here in the third.
And this is a feisty team.
Well, Charlie Wade said that would be the case. He said, hey, look, this is a young team, not exactly a household name program yet. As Roar goes OTT on that block over the top and rights the ship a little bit here for Hawaii via his 10th kill. So into double figures in kills for Adrian Roar as well. But Charlie said, hey, look, these guys are going to come to fight. They're going to compete. And that's what their head coach, Corey Marks, was expecting as well. He says, they got arms, man. This is men's college volleyball. Everyone's got arms, as evidenced there by Wesley Yusk. Just laying the lumber.
Man, that was one good swing. Great set from Jacques as well. How about this pass? Right on the money for Jacques to put up a perfect set.
10 serving 9. That one lands out. So back and forth we go here. 10 all in the third. And it's going to be Ofek Hazan staying to serve. A sophomore from Israel.
I like his floater. He punches this low and hard just over the net. It can be tough to pass.
Yeah, that is a full-blown knuckler. Behind the head set goes to Sutphin. Sakanoko the save, and Justin Todd the crush.
The corner crew is asking to sets 2 and 3 for more sets in the middle. They at least got one there. They've only been set, I think it's 10 times now in 52 tries. So they should be a little bit higher ratio.
I mean, give the middles a break here. They played the first match too. His corner crew very demanding. That one is hit cross court and down by Sutphin. Of course, we were talking about that middle position suffering from a little bit of attrition.
3 guys out.
Yeah, so 5 middles now with Justin Todd having slid back over to the middle position. 5 middles listed on the roster, and 3 of them, or at least for this match and at the moment, out of commission.
Alex Marks.
There's a look at Travell Jordan, still dealing with something, but still always smiling, man.
He's on the way back, though, they tell me. You know, he's got to practice a little bit. And I think we'll see an appearance from him on the road.
Yeah, I had a chance to interview him on the Charlie Wade show on ESPN Honolulu
how was
last night. Travell and as well as Quentin Greenwich, I mean, these are dudes in college volleyball, right? And really could have had their veritable pick of the litter as far as what program they transferred to. They choose Hawaii. But not only are they those kinds of prospects, they're just really good guys. I mean, joys to be around. And so in the case of Travell Jordan, we commented it didn't seem like he stopped smiling that opening night against NJIT on January 2nd. And he said, yeah, I don't think I did. And even last night during the interview, I don't think he stopped smiling then. I don't know if he ever stopped smiling.
How was Greenwich?
Greenwich was really cool. Yeah, the transfer from University of Windsor. There he is, still smiling as advertised. And Greenwich talking about how it was actually a very young inspiration when he was a young kid. He was inspired to go into volleyball at a pretty young age, and so it's kind of been his thing for some time, and he is really good at it. And he says, hey, look, my job as a libero is to just keep things calm, and that's why you see his demeanor. It just seems like he is not affected by the highs and lows of a volleyball match.
Very even keeled, leading them in digs tonight, by the way, with 5.
So it goes long there by Kainoa Wade.
There's another rarity. Kainoa comes in, you can almost guarantee, even if he's been cold for an hour and a half, he'll come in, he'll serve that first one in, for sure. So that's a rarity right there. I'm sure Charlie Wade's got to be a little frustrated that the serving strategies haven't gone as planned.
D set, here's Tatreski, blocked and roofed. And so it's Rockhurst that gets to 15 first in set 3. Yusk with the denial. Commitment of fans from Rockhurst that made the long trip out here. A travel party of about 40, we're told, by head coach Corey Marks. Oh, we play on. Hawaii thought the point was done. And then Rosenthal over on 2, kept alive by Rockhurst and put down from the back row by Tran. And so now Charlie Wade's going to have a conversation with Randy Rubinall. He thought, and I think the rest of the Hawaii side of the net thought that the ball had touched down on the Rockhurst side earlier in that point. And the Hawaii guy just stopped playing for a nanosecond.
Yeah, that was Charlie Wade not pleased there with what he thought was an obvious call.
Well, let's take a look here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Not even close.
Yeah. I think we got a quick challenge here. Last one was 16 seconds. Carrie Ambrosic holding up her timer. That one was 23 seconds, so good on Randy Rubinall keeping those tight. Another successful challenge for Charlie Wade. And we don't mean to be overly critical. Hey, look, it's very difficult with the speed of this game in this day and age to catch everything, but that seemed pretty clear. I think
that wasn't speed, though.
Yeah.
That was a tip shot. Going about half a mile per hour.
Well, that one hit the Terraflex. We all know that for sure. No review required. And an ace for Tread Rosenthal. That is a welcome sight for Hawaii.
That was a 61-mile-an-hour heater, the kind that Charlie Wade's used to seeing Tread Rosenthal hit. Now the big question is, can he make a longer run of his rotation now?
Hawaii by 1. And that one drifted out. Again, wasn't able to get that spin on it. It'll float long on you with this Mikasa ball.
18 service errors for Hawaii so far.
Here's Jocks. Pass by Sakanoko is a good one. Right side, roar, blocked and roofed. Spadaro jumping up next to Yusk. And Rockhurst jumps in front. Back and forth we go here in the third.
That was a great block. Forehands across. Very disciplined. No holes in that block.
That is the 6th lead change here in the third.
Great serve by Jocks.
Here is Roar again from the opposite position. Kick saved by Spadaro to keep it alive. And then it's sent deep and just beyond the end line. Oh, so close. In fact, immediately upon the out call, Corey Marks reaches for the challenge paddle, and they're going to challenge the in-out call. Well, regardless of what the result is here, Shea Spadaro with a thrilling kick save. We've seen this a few times here already this season.
Oh, man.
All right, you be the judge, in or out. Ooh.
I thought it was good in the first place.
Yeah, it looked in real time like it clipped that end line.
I was surprised it was called out by the official.
Will this be overruled? It looks like it clips the end line right there, but there was one in our last broadcast when Hawaii went forward with Loyola Chicago that looked similar to that, that ended up not getting overruled.
Another quick call by Randy Rubino. He's getting hot right now. He's on fire.
38 seconds, according to Kerry Ambrosich.
Appreciate you guys for coming out. Thank you all the fans. You guys make it through.
I think that ball's good.
you see the jubilance there on the sideline for Rockhurst. Corey Marks. And we talk about his affinity for island culture. And that includes the surrounding ocean. And that's followed up by an ace by Nathan Jocks. And all of a sudden, Rockhurst is rocking. And their following has reason to get loud. Largest lead for the Hawks. Timeout Hawaii. Donan Cruz there at a couple of the middles sitting next to each other. You have Roman Payne on the right, Alex Parks, who suffered an ankle injury in practice yesterday, sitting to his right. You had Travell Jordan standing just off in the distance. A triple block of injuries there for Hawaii's middle hitters. But Hawaii down by 3 here in the latter stage of set 3, and Tatriski hit it long. And so the Hawks have scored now 5 straight. This is their largest lead now of 4. They're up 20-16. And what it would mean for this program just to take a set off of Hawaii. As Jocks, what a run that was at the service line, sends it into the net. He puts back on the cue caller. Yeah, it's a cue caller, which is basically helps to promote blood flow to your brain, which is supposed to help guard against head injuries and those kinds of things. You see that worn by a lot of athletes in a variety of sports these days. Bump set, left side. That one skipped off the block for another point. Will Sutphin. The Hawks back up 4.
Sutphin's starting to line it up. He's got 7 kills now, getting around 250. Only a one-step approach there, just a step closing up, going up against 3 blockers.
Rockhurst hitting .500 against Hawaii here in the 3rd. Rosenthal outside, Sakanoko choosing violence.
Wow. I don't think Louis wants to lose this set. I think he's got something to do afterwards to make sure that he gets to his date after this.
Well, I mean, this is a team that is playing their 2nd match of the day. I think there are a few guys that would like to keep this as trim an outing as possible. But the out serve isn't going to help from Finn Kearney. And even the more reliable servers here tonight for Hawaii are not finding the court.
Especially Wade and Kearney. And really steady servers having trouble finding that court.
So here is Bailey McHugh. He's another listed libero on the roster. Into serve. Pass by Rohr. Backside to Treesky. And he has 12 kills. Hawaii trying to climb uphill here. See if they can get back into this 3rd set.
It's going to take some very high percentage play, smart play, and aggressive at the same time, because this Rockhurst team is, they play good defense, they put up a good block, get a lot of touches.
And they're feeling good about themselves right now. That confidence is oozing. Good serve there by Tatriski, though. Long chase by Collins, and he gets there. and we play on. Rosenthal with options. Backside to Treesky. Oh, there was no blocker in sight. It was hitting lines for Christian, and he blew it up.
Give a lot of credit to Trev Rosenthal there for a picture-perfect set. And here's the chase down, that time by Collins. And here, Petrisky just goes up. Like you said, nobody was there because Rosenthal basically faked them out.
Another good serve by Tetrisky. Cross-court bump set. Sutphin. Be up there by Greenwich. So Rosenthal sets Tetrisky. Roll shot. Diving save over the net. Hawaii will handle it. Rosenthal over on two. Oh, but they were ready. And then Tom gets roofed. Are you for real? The return on the Rosenthal slam dunk attempt. And then while it was hovering above, Todd looked to take a crack at it and got denied.
The Hawks showing their talons.
23 serving 20. Rosenthal, back row to roar. Too hot to handle that time for Collins. And all of a sudden, there is some energy in this building with Hawaii trying to fend off the Rockhurst effort to force a fourth set.
And the Rockhurst fans in their blue and white Aloha uniforms on the edge of their seats.
Saka knows where that one tickled the tape. Jocks goes outside, roll shot, pancake save to Treesky. Roar with the swing, he's roofed! And the Hawks, formidable up front again, and it is a party scene along the bench for Rockhurst right now.
They're sixth block of the night. They're out blocking Hawaii 6-4. We did not expect that statistic at all.
So Aloha ball to force a fourth here for the Hawks. Tran, oh, he went for it.
Well, they've got a couple more chances at set point. We'll see how they play it. My guess is they're going to go out to Shea Spadaro here.
It is Justin Todd. He does have an ace here in this match. That's a great serve. Oh, that was nasty. Cross court with some movement. And Hawaii within one.
They have a lot of tail to it. Wow. Great serve.
Can he deliver one more of those?
Serve.
Can he deliver one more of those? No, he cannot. And Rockhurst takes a set off of the third-ranked team in the country. High fives all around for the Hawks faithful in the building. And now that there is no sweep, Rockhurst can start thinking about even more.
Impressed by the blocking by this team. They've got out blocking Hawaii 6-4. And by the way, Hawaii's got 38 errors right now in 3 sets. That's over 12%. Charlie Wade wants it around 8%. They're falling way short of his expectations. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, for Rockhurst to have hit as efficiently as they did in that third set has to give them confidence. They hit 444 as a squad.
Unbelievable.
They were neck and neck with Hawaii throughout that entire set. It was tied at 16s. That was the 14th tie of that third set. And then they would close the set on a 10-7 run. And so here we are, set 4, and Adrian Rohr trying to restore some order here. That's his 13th put down. But now Rockhurst, they can celebrate taking a set off of Hawaii. That is an incredible accomplishment. I think Corey Marks, if you had told him ahead of time, hey, look, you're going to go to 4 at least with Hawaii, he would have taken that. He would have been extremely pleased. But now they can start thinking, hey, look, if we can win 1, why can't we win 2? And if you can win 2, anything can happen in a 5th. And that's what they're thinking. But Christian Tetrisky, I think he has some different thoughts.
You notice the first serve by Trev Rosenthal, a good one. Got that in. Going to try for a longer serving run this time. We'll see if that improves.
We did see some clutch serves in spots by Hawaii, but just too many of those momentum killers when it seemed like Hawaii was just in position to make a move.
Hawaii with 21 service errors. That's 7%. That's giving away, basically 1/3 of a set to the other team every time.
Shea Spadaro serves it into the twine. 3 serve and 1. That one just crawled over the net. Backside. What a save there by Greenwich. On the swing there by Sutphin. Outside, and that is hit cross court and wide. No touch up front. Hitting error there to Lucas Tran. And Hawaii up 4-1.
Hawaii had their players-only meeting right after that third set was over. And Louis Saccanocco took charge and said something to the effect of, let's not let this happen again.
Yeah, I think Ofek Hazan got the memo because he helped to wall that one up. Hawaii had multiple blockers there in the scene. And War from behind the line, and there's another service error.
Adrian's 4th on the night. Justin Todd each have 4. Judd Rosenthal has 6 service errors.
And Charlie Wade telling his guys, hey, look, you're going to have to work on this from the service line. You're going to have to get into what he referred to as the batting cage. Oh, hanging and banging. That was a swing of the bat. A Louisville slugger by Ofek Hazan.
Because the middle's only been set 12 times. The first 3 sets, and now they're starting to get a little more action.
Well, Charlie telling his guys, hey, look, whenever the arena is available, the practice gym is open, get in on your own time and work on serves. It's just something we have to be diligent about. As Petrisky able to soft touch it off of the hands and down. And a creative 15th kill for Christian Petrisky.
Once again, I'm not sure Christian will be able to get away with all these soft shots when he runs up against Long Beach State, Irvine, UCLA, Pepperdine.
Good save there along the back line by Rohr. Louis touches it over a triple block, and a net violation against the Hawks is going to give the point to Hawaii. Hawaii was scrambling a little bit there, but they go up 8 serving 2. Jocks goes backside. Nice set, but the block was up there on Sutphin. Now Jocks goes the other side, and it is Tran who finds the floor. And you're right, C-Mac. I think in this case, when some of the Hawaii fans are measuring what they see, Hawaii becomes a bit of a victim of itself, right? Because the standard is so high, and I think a lot of fans are going to be thinking, like, shouldn't you be looking more dominant against a team like Rockhurst? And that is not at all taking away what the Hawks have done tonight. I think what Rockhurst has done is further shined the spotlight on some areas that Hawaii is still in need of some significant improvement in.
Yeah, no question about it. And Charlie knew, Wade knew this was going to happen. He knew that Rockhurst was going to come in here and be competitive. He didn't think it would be this competitive for him. Sure. He didn't think his team would self-destruct from behind the service line like they're doing now.
And that was a foot fault and a serve that was one of those C-Mac touch-em-alls there by Christian Petrisky. Pass by Greenwich is a beauty. Middle set, Todd, the wall is up. Hawaii able to scramble a return. Hawks on the attack, it is Spadaro, he gets the touch. What has been maybe the most impressive thing about this Rockhurst effort tonight is their defense, keeping balls alive. At this point in a 4-set match, be out-blocking the Rainbow Warriors.
I didn't expect that at all. I think it's going to be a challenge. I think Charlie Wade's going to challenging the fact that touch was called.
Yeah, we saw this earlier in the match. Let's see if Charlie has another argument here. And
not even close. Where's the This is...
I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to make light of it, but I mean, we're having to spend time on a review for a call that should have just been obvious.
Hopefully, Andy Rubinoff can make up for it by being deliberate and quick.
And so, yes, another successful challenge by Charlie Wade. Hawaii goes up 10-4. Louis just deciding to soft touch it over. But maybe he knew that his block up front could handle its business. Trevor Rosenthal jumping up next to Todd, saying, ah, ole.
That's a pretty formidable block. Especially when that time Roosevelt was all Roosevelt actually that time, dropping into the seam.
Again, Louis going easy does it with it. Tip shot, Hawaii will play it back. Here's Roar. Oh, nothing easy about that. In fact, rips it off of the dome of Aaron DeRoy. He's smiling, looks to be okay, but that one could leave a Mikasa mark as opposed to a molten mark.
Oh boy, he took a shot.
Two-hand attempt there. Spadaro blocked back. He'll get a second attempt at it. And now Hawaii on the attack. Rosenthal turns and swings on it. Good up there by Sutphin. Spadaro by the double block and down. They just stayed with it. Shea Spadaro found a way to make it work for his seventh kill.
Feisty, pesky, gritty. You go name it, that's the name of their defense.
Now, this is a Corey Marks type of squad. You have to give them a lot of credit for what he has been able to put together in short order as Todd dinks it down. I mean, you figure Rockhurst, a brand new program. I think even Corey Marks will say we're probably a year ahead of schedule based on the kind of roster we've been able to compile here already in year two.
I believe they had more wins than anybody else in Division II last year. So you'd think they'd be a little slower moving, but they got off to a quick start. Recruited well, and we got these three great transfers.
Sutphin able to plug it through the block. Yeah, 19 wins last year in their inaugural campaign for the Rockhurst Hawks. Corey Marks saying, hey, look, if you had told the 15-year-old me that I would be coaching a team in this arena, in Banco Arena, Stan Sheriff Center, I would have probably not believed you. As Rosenthal able to go over on two with the vintage two-handed dump shot.
That time when he goes up, at 6'11", he goes up, he's got a high contact point. Tapping it down, it's just like straight down if he wants.
Pass there by Collins. Back row. Tran is blocked back. Collins with the cover. Now Spadaro. Dug up over the net by Tetrisky. Nicely done. Backside. That one drifting a little close to the net. So the joust up there. Now Tran from behind the line. Greenwich keeps it up. Roar with the swing. And that was some heavy-handed stuff there from Adrian Roar. And Hawaii gets the 15 first.
Quick Greenwich though with the dig. That was awesome.
Keeping it alive. The Rainbow Bigs. He's been phenomenal tonight. Just cool under pressure.
Yeah.
A different kind of libero. That's interesting to see, right? The different ways that that position is played by the various liberos across the country and over the course of...
Kid tonight was fun watching the league. Troy last year.
Gosh.
And all the spectacular plays he made.
Just a little jitterbug,
Yeah.
right? Who was all over the place, and I think the crowd loved the effort as that one goes off the block and look out in the front row. They killed there for Spadaro. Hopefully everyone's
You
okay.
take Troy and you compare the spectacular flashiness to Greenwich. You almost even don't even know he's out there. He just makes a quiet play.
Yeah.
Very different style.
It's a
Both
very
of them
different
great
style.
liberos.
Yes, and that's what's so fascinating. And there's not just one way to play the position. Tetrisky blocked back. It's set a little off the net. Tetrisky roll shot snipped out there by Jocks. Back row Spadaro dug up over the net there by Rosenthal. Hawks on the attack again. Backside, sucked in. Forget about it. Christian Tatriski returns it to sender.
Yeah, he loved that block. He didn't like the 2 swings he took in the middle of that rally, though. They were just too readable. Defense was there waiting for it. He's got to, I think, just start swinging hard more.
Hazan got a good chunk of that one. So it's Tatriski that sets up Sakanoko. And give the assist to Christian.
That was a nice set coming from the opposite.
So Hawaii has now ballooned this advantage to 10, 17-7. So I think some of the fans will probably feel like, okay, this has the vibe of something we were more expecting throughout the majority of this match. Hawaii
Exactly.
hitting 7-14 with no errors here in set 4.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Rockhurst minus 0-43.
Another challenge?
We got a challenge here. There is a challenge from Corey Marks, challenging that there was a net violation. We were talking about Corey Marks and his affinity for island volleyball culture. Says he loves the ocean. In fact, he aspired to be a marine biologist. And so that's part of the reason why he was considering even coming out to Hawaii to attend school in high school. Was there a net violation here by Ofek Hazan?
I don't think so.
If you see it, that's a heck of a play by Ofek to stay out of the string. But Corey Marks even has, to show his affinity for ocean life, he even has a turtle or a honu and a shark tattooed on his forearm. Now there it is. You can see most of the image of the shark there. And so the call is confirmed. It's a failed challenge there by Marks, but we really enjoyed our conversation with Corey, and I think this very young program is in good hands with their 31-year-old head coach. Outside, the block is up there by Tatriski, stays on the Hawks side. Tran a second time, and that one lands out according to the line judge. And I think Tatriski feels like that was in, and I think we're going to get another challenge, and Christian looks pretty frustrated. There have been some calls on that sideline. Touch, no touch calls, and now an in-out call, and we'll see what the replay shows, but from across the court, this looked in. Let's see here. Yeah, that's smack dab. Well, catches a piece of the line, I think. Maybe not smack dab on the line, but would you think that that is in?
Oh, question, no question.
Yeah. And I think Tatriski that sideline a few times tonight. Let's see if this gets reversed. Yeah, and it will. So we've had to go through that exercise a few times. Not ideal, certainly, for the rhythm of the game, but in the end, the right call is made. That's the main thing.
Exactly. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rockhurst must be out of challenges. There's one more challenge, I guess.
And that's an ace. Just to follow that up, Adrian Rohr with his third ace of the match. Ace Seuss. Timeout Rockhurst. And you mentioned it as well, C-Mac, that he'd love to see get back into his service rhythm. Certainly seems like he's found a bit of it. There it is again. He is unstoppable right now.
He's got to be feeling good. He's had 4 errors tonight, 4 service errors that he was not happy about and was starting to get down on himself. So good to see some of his confidence coming back.
I mean, this is a game changer for this team when they are serving BBs from the line. That one in the net, but the crowd will still appreciate the run there by Adrian Rohr. He's had a match. 15 kills, 5 aces, 7 digs, a block, hit 417. Enrique Soto, freshman from St. Cloud, Florida, in and back to serve. Or with the first contact. Outside, here's Louis, the big windup. Uncoils, but sends it wide. Tried to thin slice it cross court.
He was just trying to bite off a little bit more than he could chew there, for sure.
Just the second hitting error for Louis. He's got 9 kills. He's hitting well over 400. Oh, and that one actually went below the net. So Hawaii closing in here. They'll be back on the floor, as mentioned, Friday morning at 11 a.m. A rematch with this Rockhurst team. And then at 7 p.m. Hawaii in another double-dip effort. They will take on Roberts Wesleyan at 7 p.m. Our coverage here on Spectrum Sports of that late match will begin at 6:30. Here is Kainoa Wade. Cuts it near side, pass there by Collins. Block is up on Sutton. And so Jocks cross court. Tran able to tool the block.
Tran just went up and just wailed away at it. Ball was set Harvey 6-7 feet off the net, but he didn't care. He was going to go up and tool that block with a hammer.
Well, regardless of the overall results, I think Rockhurst is going to have reason to feel good about itself. They come into this building, a first of its kind type experience for this program, and a lot of these players, and they get one off of Hawaii. Good dig there on the Todd swing. And here is the freshly inserted Quentin Human, a 6'5" freshman from Lee's Summit, Missouri.
I think Coach Marks is doing the best he can to get as many players playing time as possible.
And it looks like some of them having a good time. I think Tran has been exhibiting that kind of enthusiasm throughout the night. Certainly will be enthusiastic about that effort as he put it down in front of Quentin Greenwich.
Kill number 8. Unfortunately, he's got 6 errors to go along with it, so he's only hitting about 100.
Corey Marks is telling us that he communicated that to his guys, even in gym 2, in the practice gym, said, hey, look, we're going to be in the arena. We're practicing in this gym. He says All-Americans, national champions, Olympians have practiced and played in these buildings as the block is up there for the Hawks. And he told them, do not take that opportunity for granted. And again, some part of the motivation to come out to the islands and play these matches. Certainly that experience is something that his players are going to remember forever.
No question about it. He's prepared them well, to say the least.
Tran, that one crawls over and falls down for an ace. And he's just beaming.
He hit that hard and got a lot of cable. They're trying to finish up on a strong note.
A 6-2 run here for the Hawks. And that one will drift along. And it is aloha ball. Louis Sakamoto will do the honors here as they rise at Banco Arena at Stan Sheriff Center.
You think he'll bring the heater here?
I mean, you're up by 11. We haven't really seen the heater from Louis tonight.
We haven't. Maybe he's going to bring it.
A high toss. He does bring it. Chased down by Collins, and we play on. Hawaii with the big advantage here, though. Rosenthal goes middle. Todd, the paintbrush, does the job. And maybe a little longer than what this Hawaii team and these Hawaii fans were expecting. But against a feisty and game Rockhurst Hawks squad, the Rainbow Warriors get it done in 4. And boy, did they take care of business in that 4th set, hitting 500 as a squad and improving to 5-1 on the year. So Hawaii goes 2-0 on the day.
That's right.
As Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. Nathan Jocks, he was special tonight. 28 assists, 3 blocks, 5 digs, and 3 aces, and brought so much energy and effervescence to this Hawks side of the net. And Adrian Rohr, you talk about a stat sheet filler. 15 kills, hit 417, a block, 7 digs, and 5 service aces. What do you think of what we saw here tonight, C-Mac?
Yeah, we saw glimpses of greatness, and I think Charlie Wade would be the first one to say too many errors overall. Hitting errors, serving errors, receiving errors. He would like to see a much cleaner box scoreline than he's going to be taking a look at that in a few minutes. And he looks at it, he's going to say, you know what? We had way too many errors. At least we recovered and played well in the fourth.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, still some things to look at. A lot of credit has to go to Rockhurst and the effort that they put forth. But I think Charlie Wade can at least take solace in the fact that in that fourth set, it looked a little bit more like the number 3 team in the country going up against Division II Rockhurst. Waiting for a moment to catch Charlie Wade.
Rockhurst gets to go to the NCs now.
That's
He's
right.
told about that tradition as well.
What an experience. I mean, that's the full experience here when you come out and play in the islands. All right, Scott Robbs is with the winning coach, the master of product placement, Charlie Wade.
You got that right, Kanawha. Coach, first off, congratulations. Long day, obviously, for your team. Your thoughts on how the day went, starting first with this match?
Starting with this one. I hope everybody sticks with us here. It's a work in progress for sure. We got progressively worse, and then we got really good. 11 errors in the first set, 12 in the second, 15 in the third, and then settled down. I don't know what it ended up with, 7 or 8 or something there at the end, but much more like what we're capable of doing. So good to see it end in a very productive and efficient way. Some really good service turns. Yeah.
And then how about this morning, 11 a.m.? You got a lot of guys got a chance to see some action.
For sure, and I mean, just a great opportunity to get guys who, you know, are going to have great careers and really impactful players on the team. We're going to need to help develop them. I thought it was great. I thought they were super engaged, play really efficiently. Great opportunity for us to, just get more quality playing time in here in the building. You know, we can try to recreate stuff at practice, like serving, but there's nothing like coming in here and doing it in a real match.
I've got a lot of fans asking me, have you even thought forward to Friday how you're going to approach both matches? Because you'll play this team in the morning and Roberts Wesleyan in the evening. Have you thought about it?
Yeah, we'd like to win both of them.
Yeah, I know. They're wondering about the players.
Yeah, we will use players in both matches.
Good answer. Hey, thanks, Charlie.
Thank you.
Kanawha.
Well, breaking news, you heard it here first. Charlie Wade will be using players on his roster in both those matches on Friday. C-Mac, I'll give you the last word here before we kick it to the postgame.
Oh, man, that was funny. Well, I think, as Charlie said, I told you that in his postgame interview, he would say something about errors. He's big on errors and keeping them to 8 or less per set. So when I went to 15 errors in the third set, he was pretty livid. He was not happy with that. He was glad that the fourth set, they redeemed themselves a bit. I suspect that on Friday that whoever plays morning or night will be very mindful of making sure they play clean, crisp, error-free volleyball.
Yeah, could be an opportunity, depending on what Charlie does intend to do with the lineups, to see some of the quote-unquote B-side guys on TV in the feature match that night. We'll see. I think Charlie has some bigger fish to fry at this point because he wants to see this team just be a little sharper and play some better overall volleyball, regardless of who the 6 are out there on the Terror Flags. All right,